Paws, Quinnipiac, Yale, the battle for the Heroes hat. Also an exclusive interview with women's basketball player Jasmine Martin. All that and more coming up on Sports Paws. And as the action finally cools down at the TD Bank Sports Center, it's just heating up here. Welcome, everyone, to a very special edition of Sports Paws. I'm John Alba.
And I'm Jordan Siegler. The men's basketball team looks to continue their winning streak this week, and the women's basketball team looks to clinch a berth into the NEC tournament.
And not just that, but we have a member of that women's basketball team, Jasmine Martin, joining us for an exclusive interview. But first, NBC Sports Network. They were here at the TD Bank Sports Center last Friday evening, Jordan, and before the fans could get in for the annual Heroes Hat game between Quinnipiac men's ice hockey and Yale, a few of them had something to say about their anticipation for the game.
I like the atmosphere because actually this is the one game that people are actually into the game the entire time. And it's just the rivalry between the two teams. It's a lot of fun to be at, and it's a great game to see.
I've been looking forward to this all week, ever since I got my ticket on Monday. It's really all I've been thinking about.
What was it like getting your ticket?
It was a battle. I kept refreshing that page until about 10:08. Yeah, that server was not ready for that much traffic.
I'm really excited. This line's pretty crazy, but we got here at 4 o'clock, so it should be a fun game.
Nice. And was it hard getting your ticket?
No. Me and 3 of my other friends are the Teletubbies, so we emailed the box office and we got free tickets right away.
What are your thoughts on today's game? You excited?
Yes, pumped. I think we're going to crush Yale.
Yeah. We're going to kill Yale because it's the biggest
we're
game
number
of the year.
1 and they're, what are they, 13 or something?
Yeah. They're somewhere below the top 10. They're somewhere below that.
So we don't like them.
Was it hard for you guys to get tickets?
Yes, for me.
No.
For me it was.
It's the game that everyone's been waiting for. Number 1, Quinnipiac. Number 13, Yale, the 11th annual Heroes Hat game. Early on in the first period, Matthew Pekka, he's been a force all season long. He's going to gain possession of the puck into the neutral zone and into the net as well. Quinnipiac is up 1-0 after the Pekka goal. And, well, they weren't done there. A few plays later, Kellen Jones is going to take the puck away, and he's going to take it himself this time. Quinnipiac up 2-0, and we're only a few minutes into the first period. Up 2-0, that lead is insurmountable. Well, Quinnipiac says, we'll see your 2, and we'll raise it yet another. This time, Travis St. Denis is going to get the puck, and he's going to put it in the net. The Bobcats are up 3-0, 2 assists apiece for Connor Jones and Matthew Pekka on the evening. The Bobcats student section, they love it. Later in the first period, Mike Dalhussen's presenting the Live Hockey Check. Dalhusen, well known around this campus for his charitable work. An excellent site there, but one that's not. This one was ugly. Lots of fights in this contest. These two teams do not like each other, and Jesse Root didn't like the fact that Quinnipiac was leading 3-0. He risked one past Derek Hartzell, his 13th goal of the season. Yale is on the board 3-1, but on the breakaway late in the third period, empty net. Connor Jones puts it into the empty net. Bobcats go up 4-0. They're going to clinch it. Mom, I need some money. The Bobcats need some help here, though, because after the game, a fight breaks out. But it's all love and good. This time, Quinnipiac wins the Heroes Hat. The captain, Zach Curry, handles it himself, presents it to his team. Here's Ram Pecknold with more.
It wasn't our best guy. That first period was great, and then, typical, you get up 3-0, and we get lulled a little bit, and we didn't compete. We didn't win races and battles in the second and third like we did in the first. So a little disappointed with that, but Hartsey kept us in there. He's our best player. He's the best player in the league, and he's one of the best in the nation right now, and he showed it tonight. I thought he was excellent.
It's never easy playing Yale. They're a really tough team, and last time we played them, they were fortunate to get the first 2 goals, and tonight we were fortunate to get the first 2 goals, and I don't think the boys let up at all tonight, and they played great.
Yeah, I think we did a good job of controlling our emotions tonight. You don't want to get too high in games like these, start making bad decisions and trying to do too much. So, we knew what was at stake, and we knew, how it was going to be. But I think we handled it pretty well and controlled our emotions.
It's senior night at the High Point Solutions Arena with the Bobcats getting ready to take on Brown. First period, Bryce Van Braveren up to Jordan Samuels Thomas for the goal. Quinnipiac up to an early 1-0 lead against the Brown Bears. To the second period we go. Zach Curry looking for Lauren Barron. It's picked off by Richie Crawley, who puts it up ahead to Joe Prescott on the breakaway, and he puts it past Hartzell to tie the game at 1 for the Bears. After Thomas nets his second goal of the game, Quinnipiac looking for more as Jordan Samuels-Thomas is going to steal it, gets to the heads of Russell Goodman for the goal. Goodman 6th of the game, Quinnipiac up 3-1. Game looking well in hand for the Bobcats. Brown looking to respond once again on a 2-1 advantage. It's Matt Laredo to Chris Zaries for the goal. No, the refs wave it off. No goal for the Bears. The teams were fighting throughout this entire game, and here's one of them here. Brown would add a goal to make it 3-2, and with less than a minute left in the period, it's Zaries getting it past Eric Hartzell to tie the game at 3. We are heading to overtime. Now in overtime, both teams fighting continuously for possession, but neither would score to win the game. Game ends in a 3-3 tie. Here's Rand Pecknold after the game.
With buying into the little details tonight, and we give it the 2 breakaways, which is unacceptable. They scored on one of them, and we need to find a way. We got 2.5 minutes in the game. Like we're a pretty good defensive hockey team. We need to put them away. Both those goals, I give Brown credit. They battled, but it's a poor effort on our part.
Senior night did not turn out so well for the Bobcats as they skated to a 3-3 tie against the Brown Bears on Saturday night. The Bobcats held their ground for most of the game, but a late Brown comeback forced the game into overtime, but no team could finish. Both games this season, the Bobcats and the Bears have finished in a tie. The Bobcats will be traveling on the road to take on Dartmouth and Harvard in the final week of the regular season. Thomas Albanese, Sports Paws.
Hello, I'm joined here at the High Point Solutions Arena with our analyst, Colin Babcock, to talk a little men's ice hockey. Friday night, the Quinnipiac Bobcats defeated the Yale Bulldogs 4-1. So give me your MVP for the game for the Bobcats.
Well, Jordan, the MVP of the game has definitely got to be Eric Hartzell. 30 saves on the night, and he was critical for the Bobcats come crunch time late in the third period. 2 breakaways the Bobcats surrendered, and he was there to stone them both. He picked up the win, 30 saves, great night. Eric Hartzell, MVP.
Oh, great choice there. Saturday night, the Bobcats came back out following their win against Yale and ended up in an overtime tie with the Brown Bears at 3-3. They were up 3-1 with about 3 minutes to go and ended up giving up 2 goals for Brown to tie the game. What happened with the Bobcats at the end of that game?
It was terrible, Jordan. It was a meltdown. Defense was scrambling all over the place. A Brown forward came in and passed the puck off, back door. No defenseman picked him up. 3-2, and then Brown pulls the goalie, gets an extra attacker in there, and D throws it on net. Everyone crashes, and eventually it's poked in. So the Bobcats went from a 3-1 comfortable lead to a 3-3 tie against not so good Brown team.
So now give me your grade for each of the games this past weekend.
Well, for the Yale game, I'm going to have to give the Bobcats an A-. The reason for that, it was a great win, 4-1. They came out hot, and they scored a lot of energy from the crowd. And playing on NBC Sports Network was great, but the A- part comes in with the breakaway surrender. The defense really needs to focus. They can't really count on Eric Hartzell having to bail them out, once or twice a game, because not every goaltender can stop a breakaway. So A- for the Yale game. And as for the Brown game, I'm gonna have to go with a B-, nearing a C+. They just really didn't have it all night. They put up 3 goals and were leading 3-1, but the chances were more even. 29 shots total for Brown. That's a lot more than what Rand Pecknold would want. And they just didn't play sound all night. Defensive collapse late in the game. You got to play your best in crunch time. So I'm going to have to go with a B-, C+ for the Bobcats against Brown.
So now finally, the USCHO poll will come out tomorrow. Do you think the Bobcats are going to be ranked number 1 again?
I do, Jordan. The reason for that is because Minnesota also tied. They tied Minnesota Duluth 2-2. That was last night. And Quinnipiac tied, a bad Brown team, but then again, they beat nationally ranked Yale 4-1, and that was a big game on NBC Sports Network. Also, beware of Miami of Ohio. The Red Hawks beat Superior Lake twice this weekend, a good known team, and they might even jump over Minnesota because with their tie. But I do think the Bobcats will remain number 1 on tomorrow's poll.
Thank you, Colin.
Women's basketball entered this past week 21-2 overall, alongside 12-0 in conference play. They'd open up the week against Robert Morris. Let's see how they did.
Bobcats looking for their 22nd win of the season, and we open up with the first half. Boo Abshire, she's going to drive, dish it off to Brittany McQueen, and McQueen finishes for 2. The Bobcats take a 12-4 lead later on. Lee back to Ellen Cannon for 3. She's got quite the arc, extends the Bobcats lead 16-8. But here's Randy Jackson over to Anna Galelight, And when it may not be music, Jackson knows how to deliver. Robert Morris pulling back in. Now Robert Morris looking to cut the lead to 9. Kelly Hartwell to Anna Cavasilla, and 9 it is. Second half now, Bobcats leading 27-20. Felicia Barron to a wide open Jasmine Martin. 3-ball side pocket, it's good. Robert Morris looking to respond though. Here comes Artemis Spanu, one of the best players in the country. She gets the 2. Bobcats lead by 10 now. But Quinnipiac, they'd respond quickly. Martin once more. Yeah, they don't even fret. But here are the Colonials. They will not die. Gale Light once more. There's 2 for them. But Ellen Cannon, well, she makes it rain on the Colonials parade. And Brittany McQuain is going to finish it off here. Look at that hook. The Bobcats are going to win this one 60-46.
We spoke about the depth earlier. We're going to play our 4th game in 8 days. And the reason why we're able to do it and continue to do why and how we play is because of the depth. So, again, it's just critical to how well we're able to sustain our wins.
The Bobcats have their minds set on a Northeast Conference title. Let's head over to Jordan to see how they fared against Monmouth.
Bobcats getting ready to take on the Monmouth Hawks, looking for their 15th straight win of the season. Jasmine Martin getting their team pumped. Monmouth up to an early lead as Alicia Womack hits the jumper there, making it 2-0. QU would answer. It's Cameron Warner hitting Brittany McQuain for the wide open layup. QU ties it at 2. Middle of the first half, it's going to be Sam Guastella for 3 after an 11-game absence. Bobcats up by 4. Then late in the first half, it's Gadazalov missing her first free throw for Monmouth, but hitting the second. 19 seconds later, Nikolai Ostergaard with the layup. The Bobcats up by 11. 8 seconds into the second half, it's going to be Felicia Barron for 3. Bobcats up by 14. Monmouth trying to stay in it. It's going to be Abigail Martin with the rebound and the layup. Monmouth trailing by 12. Middle of the second half, it's Ostergaard finding Maria Napolitano for 3 in the corner. Bobcats up by 11. Less than a minute later, Boo Abshire to Jasmine Martin for 3. The Bobcats up by 14. 26 seconds later, the steal from Felicia Barron past to Boo Abshire, back to Barron for 3. Bobcats up by 17. Then late in the game, it's Adriana Allen with the jumper. Monmouth trailing by 22. Then it's going to be Maria Napolitano for 3 from the corner again. Bobcats up by 25. Then QU would seal the game with 34 seconds left. Nikolai Ostergaard with the layup. Bobcats win 72-45. Here's Coach Fabry after the game.
A good friend of mine who coaches and said, I just said, I'm a little concerned the ball's not going in the bucket from the three-point line as much as we would like at this point. She goes, you're due. So she was spot on. We were just due. Shoot or shoot, and that's what Fee and Jazz and Ellen and Maria Knapp tonight did. So it was really nice to have that go in and be over 50% from the three-point line. Makes everyone feel a little bit better.
As everyone knows, the women's basketball team has been on an absolute tear of late. I had a chance to sit down with sophomore captain Jasmine Martin and talk about their success. How does it feel to be the 2012-2013 Northeast Conference champions?
It feels amazing. We've come a long way. We learned last year after playing Monmouth, that it's not going to be an easy road. We took them for granted last year, and this year we changed our mindset, and we ended up beating them the other day by about 27. And we went into Sacred Heart with the same mindset, and we came out as a champion. But we still have one more step to go. So,
how do you go about getting to that next step?
Keep working hard and staying hungry. Everybody knows our end vision, where we want to be on March 17th, and we want to make history and be the first team to ever do it at the school. So we're just going to keep continuing to work hard until we make history.
You have a few games left on the schedule that are essentially meaningless because you've clinched everything that you can already. How do you go about handling those games?
Well, with the next games coming up, we go about handling them by staying hungry, fighting for 40 minutes, no matter who they are, whether they're the last team in the conference or the first team in the conference. We have to remember that everybody wants to take us down. We're the #1 team. We have a target on our back, so everybody's trying to knock off the #1 team. So we're going to continue to keep working no matter what, no matter who we're playing, no matter where it's at. We just got to keep fighting. We've gone undefeated so far, so to lose any of the last 3 games would kind of, it wouldn't be fun.
Got Samantha Guastella back over the past couple of games. How big is she for this team?
Having Sam back is actually amazing. Her energy, just the lift she gives us is just amazing. I mean, she's still working to get back in shape, but I'm not worried about her. She will be ready to go, especially by playoffs. She's working her behind off, so I'm very excited that she's back.
Have you seen anything different from Felicia Barron, this being her senior season? You're down the final stretch. She's approaching her final games. Have you seen anything different from her?
I think the main thing that I see in Felicia is, you know, she's never experienced a season like this or won a conference championship or any of those type of things. So this is just as new as it is to us. It's just as new to her. So she's just as hungry as all of us. She wants to win it just as bad as everyone else. So I think going out, you know, as a senior, this is her last year, she would do anything to win. So today, me and her, we were in the gym getting up shots because, you know, when we're off, we get in the gym and we have to better ourselves for the next game. So we were in here getting up shots, getting ready for tomorrow. Like, she knows what she has to do for us to win a championship, and she's willing to do that.
How does this year's team feel about the coaching staff, and how important have they been in this run?
The coaching staff is really big. I mean, we all really feel that they're one of the main reasons why we're here. You know, they've guided us, they've told us what to do, and we listen, we take what they say very seriously. You know, we can't joke about it, and I think last year was like a learning experience. We were all getting to know each other, especially our freshman class coming in. It was just like we were getting to know the staff, getting to know ourselves, getting to know our other teammates. So this year we've got a bond that can't be broken, and I'm really excited about it. They've played a big role in our success today.
Come tournament time, do you change anything about the way you've been playing the game?
Come tournament time, we just don't let up. No matter who we're playing, like I said, we don't let up.
Does this team feel that there's a need to almost get revenge after last year's semifinal loss?
After last year's semifinal loss, the feeling I felt, I never want to feel again. To lose a game and to be that close and to know that we could have beaten those teams, there's nothing. You know, you always get those times where you're just in your room and you look back and like, I could have, you know, made one more play, or I could have defended her a little better, or I could have dove on the floor for that ball. Like, you just think about those things. So that's why this year we can't take anyone for granted. Monmouth came into our house and we beat them by 15 the first time, so we just expected it would be another, you know, easy game, and halftime we're down by about 15 and we had to fight our way back and we fell short. So
what do you take away from this season, all of the ups that you guys have experienced, the tremendous regular season record, the undefeated as of now conference record? At the end, what do you take away from this, excluding all the tournament talk?
I think what I've taken away from this season so far is just staying together with my team. Like, at the end of the day, it's not about me personally, it's about the team and what we're here to accomplish. All the personal goals and accolades, they'll come with time, but I'm worried about my team right now and what we're here to do. And as long as we, you know, on March 17th get to cut a net down, I'll do whatever it takes. So
we've gone from there's almost like 3 stages. You're either in that bottom stage, you're in the middle stage where you're on the road for the NEC, or in the top stage. And it's been good because we haven't really had time to step back and say, like, we've accomplished anything. You know, we put ourselves behind the 8 ball so much by starting 1 and 3 that we've just been fighting and scratching for about 5 weeks now. So this, if anything, is a time for us, a little bit of a time where before we play these last group of games down the end of the year, the kids can almost take a step back. We're trying to not let them do that. We're trying to let them just stay hungry and stay humble. And we've talked a little bit about it, that this is our last year in the league. So it's our last chance to win the league, you know, as a member of the NEC. And we've been the 3rd winningest program in the last 6 years, and it's been us, LIU, and Robert Morris. But you know, those guys have 2 rings apiece, and we don't have any. So it's one thing to be in with that group in the top 3. But it's another to not have the rings, and we want to try to distinguish ourselves some way this year. So we have a good group of older guys and younger guys, and our heads are all in the right place right now. So we could continue to play well in these last couple of weeks. I think it is open. There's not a dominant team or 2. I think anybody can beat anyone.
Well, you just heard Tom Moore talking about the team's hunger. Now, following a win Thursday night at Sacred Heart, the Bobcats returned home to take on the Bryan Bulldogs on Saturday. Let's see if they can extend their winning streak to 6 and keep climbing the NEC standings. It was senior day up at the TD Bank Sports Center as the Bobcats getting ready to take on the Bryan Bulldogs. Quinnipiac looking for its 6th straight win of the year. Bryant would strike first though as Alex Francis hits the layup here to get the scoring going, but they would come right back with 2 free throws here by Ike Azatam to tie it at 2. Bryant would try to respond as Corey Maynard misses the shot there. Shaq Shannon with the rebound, and Shannon is going to take it coast to coast for the layup, making 4-2 Bobcats later in the first half. Azatam saves it to Conti, to Shannon for 3, and splash! Bobcats up by 2. Bulldogs will continue to play strong as it's going to be Alex Francis finding De'Ame Starks for 3 to make it a 9-point lead for the Bobcats. Bulldogs will come out in the second half on a high note as it's Frankie Dobbs finding Joe O'Shea for 3 to make it a 6-point lead for the Bobcats. But Q will come right back as Evan Conti slams a 3 right there, making it a 3-point lead for Quinnipiac. Dobbs would play strong for Bryant all day as he hits the shot there. Bryant would bring it closer here with Corey Maynard making a difficult layup to make it a 4-point lead, but Quinnipiac would seal it as it's Drame for the ferocious slam. Bobcats win 69-58. Here's Tom Moore after the game.
And this team has a lot of belief right now, and they're in a good place. And the team still has a lot that they have to earn, though. And we still have a lot we have to earn. But it's fun coaching them right now because it's fun to see kids see the results of hard work.
Well, it's a new environment for Sports Paws, so why don't we have a new segment? We bring in the Professor Jordan Katz to help break down a little college basketball for us, and we're going to call this one Coach Katz. So Jordan's going to break down some plays for us and talk a little bit about Quinnipiac basketball. So Jordan, let's start with the men's basketball team. Let's talk a little bit about the success that they've had, in particular the offensive sets in the half court against the man-to-man.
Yeah, you know what the men's team has done fantastic is running their basic 3-around-2 offense. Essentially what they do is they have 3 players on the perimeter, 2 players on the interior. And one of the ways that they describe it is they'll start with the 2 guards below the blocks underneath the 2 post players. And what they'll do is they'll have both Jamie Jackson, Ike Azatam, or Usman Drame, who's ever's in, will turn and set a screen for the 2 guards. Both guards will pop up to the wings and look for a pass from the point guard. That point guard could either be Shaq Shannon, it could be Dave Johnson, it could be Evan Conti. Generally, the guys coming off the wings are Evan Conti, Shaq Shannon, Zaid Hurst, the wing players, the wing scorers for this team. What both post players are going to do is they're going to turn and seal their defenders. So if the ball goes to either Zaid Hurst or it goes to Evan Conti on the wing, they're going to look to dump it inside to the post player, be it Ike Azatam, Jamie Jackson, or Usman Drame. Usman Drame is typically a little higher. Ike Azatam is generally more on the wing. Jamie Jackson will be a little lower. That's the way they use their players to their advantage. If the ball gets dumped into the post, they'll create a one-on-one matchup between the post player and the defender. And what they're going to do then is they're going to space the floor with their guards. One guard is going to move from the far wing just a little more towards the top of the key, and all the guards are going to rotate off that. So the point guard that originally brought the ball up is going to swing a little to his right or his left. The player on the opposite wing is going to swing more towards the corner, and the opposite post player is going to just move a couple steps outside of the post to about the 8 to 10 foot range, creating a one-on-one matchup where if it's Ike Azatam with the ball, he can either go baseline or he can face up and try to drive to the middle. Or if the defense comes in double teams, Ike Azatam can kick the ball out to the guard, they can reverse the ball, and they can almost set up the offense on the opposite side where the player that's towards the wing/corner will then dump it into the post player on the opposite side who turns and seals their man. Or it could become an open 3-point shot opportunity.
So, Jordan, the women's team, well, they're pretty decent, too. They just clinched the Northeast Conference, and they're in the top 30 in scoring in the nation. They score better than some in the top 25 as a whole. Jordan, a lot of their success has come out of the half court as well. Why don't you talk about that?
John, you're absolutely right. And one of the ways they do that is by creating a dribble drive offense. Essentially, the way they're going to set up is they're going to set up with Boo Abshire at the point, Jasmine Martin and Felicia Barron on the wings, and Brittany McQueen and either Sam Guastella or Cameron Warner down low. But what their job is when the ball goes to the wing, Brittany McQueen and Cameron Warner or Sam Guastella, whoever's filling that role, their job is, this is one of the ways that I like that they set up the dribble drive, is they're going to come up and set a screen for the player with the ball on the wing. Now, they run the dribble drive off a number of different sets. They can run it off a 4-round-1, which is 4 players on the perimeter and 1 player on the interior. or they can run it this way. And what it allows is it allows Jasmine Martin or Felicia Barron to either go off the screen and sort of set up a screen and roll, or go to the weak side of the screen and go away from the screen and sort of confuse the defense. Now, if they go off the strong side and if they go off the screen, it allows for 3 options. 1, Jasmine Martin or Felicia Barron or Ellen Cannon or Lisa Liebeck, whoever has the ball, can either drive to the lane and try to finish with a layup, can dump it down to the post player setting the screen, off a screen and roll, or can kick to the opposite wing for an open 3-point jump shot as the defense collapses. This team hits almost 7 3-pointers a game, and they shoot it at a 35% clip, which is in the top 15 in the country. So they are an excellent 3-point shooting team, and it's one of the ways that dribble drive is so effective. Now, if the wing scorer decides to go off the weak side of the screen, essentially going away from the screen, she has 3 options. She can drive to the basket and try to create a basket for herself, and in which case a shot goes up, both players will crash the boards and try to get an offensive rebound and then transition into defense. She can drop it off to the post player, who essentially runs a pick and pop, and what that means is they will stay where they are and try to look for an open jump shot. Generally, that's run with Brittany McQuain because she's so successful with her mid-range game. She has a great touch from about 10 to 12 feet, and it's a real weapon for this team. Or the player can come all the way out if she doesn't have anything, back into the corner, set up the offense again, and they'll run through the same set.
Well, Coach Katz, it seems like some of the Quinnipiac coaches here may have someone competing for their job in the next few years.
They both do a tremendous job. Trish Fabry and Tom Moore. Trish Fabry's success is well documented this season, and Tom Moore has taken a team that's very young and made them a very impressive basketball squad.
Very true. Well, we'll see you on the other side, and we'll be right back with some more here on Sports Paws. While all eyes may have been focused on the #1 ranked men's ice hockey team, the women's team finished up their regular season. They had a big weekend with 2 4-0 victories over Yale and Brown. The 2 victories helped the Bobcats clinch the 4th seed in the ECAC for just the 2nd time in school history. They will host St. Lawrence in an ECAC first-round playoff series starting on Friday, March 1st. Well, that about does it for this very special edition of Sports Paws on Q30.
For more information on Q30 or how to get involved, go to Q30.org.
And don't forget to follow us on Twitter as well, at Q30 Sports.
I'm Jordan Siegler.
And I'm John Alba, and we'll catch you on the other side.